everyone! So the recent Q&A video that we put up was originally supposed to be just one long video, but it got to be a little bit too long. So we decided to split it up into 2 parts, and this is the second part, and all of these questions are from Instagram.
From, I'm going to say this wrong, Thomas Lembeck asked, what new and exciting things can we expect from OwlCrate in the future? Russia. So I can't share that much because I don't want to spoil anything, but I guess like what we're just currently working on is making everything as exclusive as possible. That's something that I want to try and aim for going forward. So just yeah, just more really unique, high quality items from awesome shops that you can't find anywhere else but in the box. And then the inclusion of having signed books is a very new thing for us. January was the first box where we had an actual signed book, not a book plate. And we're going to continue to do that going forward. And there may even be a box or 2 with a book that is signed by multiple people. Oh. What? You heard it here first, but I'm not going to say anything more than that. But yeah, we're always trying to work hard to put new cool things in the boxes. Same with OwlCrate Jr. So just stay tuned.
Yeah.
Kalatika asked, what are your favorite items you've included in the OwlCrate and OwlCrate Jr. boxes?
I sure do love that sloth pin we did.
Yeah, you wear that
It has,
pin a lot.
yeah, it has a permanent home on my favorite denim shirt, and I always get comments on it. So that's, yeah, it's, you know, it's a, I feel
Small
weird
thing,
saying
but-
like one thing over another, but that's definitely one that like I actually use and love on a regular basis.
I think for me, there's a lot of items that I am really proud of. They came out so nice, and I guess like the Forbidden Forest mug is an obvious one, but that's probably my favorite thing that we've probably ever included, just because it was so beautiful. And it was our first mug ever.
And everyone was really excited about it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, the feedback we got was amazing.
Yeah, I use that mug all the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
me too. It's become like my everyday mug. I also really like it whenever we include socks and like, yeah, just
The toque you guys made, or beanie rather, for you non-Canadians.
yeah.
I wear that one all the time.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
really cute.
So snug.
Beige Words asked, if you could go out with any secondary character, book or TV, who would it be, where, and why?
Oh, like date or just like go out?
I think she means date. There's a heart.
Oh.
Secondary character. Does that
Yeah, I
mean,
was like, wait a minute.
not a main character?
Yeah. So side character.
I'm a big fan of Sam from Lord of the Rings. Sam, the type of character that Sam is, like best friend, sidekick type character, are the ones that I love the most. And I feel like he saved that entire story. I feel like he was actually the hero more so than Frodo, in my opinion. And I think he's adorable. So I'm going to say Sam.
That's a good one.
We can have potato and stew for breakfast. And we'll just have a nice time in the Shire. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be
We're gonna
lovely.
eat in the Shire.
Yes,
That's so sweet.
that sounds
It's
great
like a
to me.
Clume order. Eat in the Shire with Sam.
Just eat some nice comfort food in the Shire.
Oh man, can I copy your answer?
No.
This is difficult. What if... This might be dangerous, but also fun, and it appeals to me, is exploring the Forbidden Forest with Hagrid.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be with Hagrid.
Corey, this is romantic. Do you like Hagrid
No.
romantically?
I like big hairy.
Not what I
men.
meant.
That's true, you do.
No, it's not, this isn't romantic. This is just something I would like to do with a secondary character. It's hard to think of a secondary character I would want to date.
I'm sorry guys, I'm full of, I can't think of anything.
Sally
no.
doesn't really do like ships and
No, I
have
never
boyfriends
have.
and stuff. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
What
okay.
book did you read that we said potential book boyfriend last year? Was it Cal?
Oh.
No, it was Ollie from
Oh.
Everything.
Oh. I did like him, but you guys, he's a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I'm a grown woman.
Moving on. We are old. What is your favorite part about curating the boxes?
I'm a big researcher. I've always been better at the like researching part than the actual like synthesizing of information. So I like just like diving into the internet and like Wikipedia and Etsy and like doing all the sort of information gathering and then having to brainstorm from there.
Yeah.
And the reading, obviously. I love the reading part.
Yes, the reading it goes without saying.
Yeah. But that initial research stage I do find quite satisfying.
Yeah. I think for me it's working with small businesses. Like that's just something that's been so important to me from the very first job I ever had when I was like 15 or 16. I pretty much only worked for like small businesses, and then like the one corporation I worked for was ran like a small business. It felt very small. So that's something that's always been important to me, and I knew when I started OwlCrate that I wanted to really focus on that. And so for me, I just love being able to brainstorm with other creative business owners, and then like, yeah, the back and forth and just the creativity that goes into every single item.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like feel like a natural high when like it comes together and it's like complete and it's amazing. I'm just like,
I like that moment every month where I see you you have your document where you list everything and you go, yes, I like this box.
yeah, it's come together.
Everything works.
It takes like at least a full month, if not longer, to completely figure out every item of the box. So that moment when it's done and it like feels well rounded and and just like everything's high quality, and I'm just like, I did it. Yeah, it's good. That's so funny. And another question is, what is your favorite classic?
I think my go-to answer is probably Jane Eyre for like classics.
Yeah.
Not like modern classics, but
Never read it.
it's pretty good. Check it out.
I really like Peter Pan.
It's a good one too.
And The Wizard of Oz, like I was trying to say earlier, but then realized it didn't apply.
I don't know if I have one. I'm not a classics person. I'm sure there is one on my shelf that like I liked, but
The Little Prince?
That's a classic. You love that one.
how old is that? That doesn't feel like that.
It's
much of a
old.
classic.
Oh, it's
in like the early 1910s. It's a classic.
yeah.
Okay, so The Little Prince. That is one that I really like, and I have a couple copies of it, and
very
I like to read it at least every couple of years. Yeah.
It's a good little story.
Yeah, makes you think. Yeah, so The Little Prince. Okay, would you rather only be able to read books that you hated or never be able to read books at all? That's a cruel question.
Well, we wouldn't be able to have OwlCrate if we couldn't read books.
No, true.
I don't know.
Like specifically books, or like you couldn't read at all? Like would there still be like newspapers and like articles
I think you would be
in
able
this
to
world?
read newspapers, just no more books.
I mean, I guess it's fun to read, once in a while it's fun to read a book that you don't like that you really hate. But
only
yeah,
that?
but I wouldn't want to do that all the time, so I guess I would have to say not read books. Because it would ruin it anyways. You wouldn't enjoy it if everything was bad.
I would become a lot more up to date on the news.
Yeah, I think I would also choose to not read books anymore. I'm
So
not
sad
a
you
fan
even
of
say
wasting my time. So
I can't do it.
yeah, I can't even now. Like if I'm reading a book and I don't like it, I do not finish it. I don't have time to finish it. So I would probably just become really passionate about film.
Or something else.
Some other type of medium, because blogs, something
Zines.
like that.
Zines.
Anything
Something.
else. It's not good to spend all your time doing something you hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably make you pretty pessimistic.
Yeah. What book do you have the most hatred/dislike for?
We all know mine.
Yes.
It's The Death and Life of Zebulon Finch.
Watch
garbage.
our what video is
Worst
that?
books of 2017.
Yeah, watch that video for more
More in-depth
details about that.
in Sally's face.
And I'm sorry that this might be controversial, but like the Twilight books, I don't get it. I only read the first one, I think, but like
But you did read it.
I read the first one.
It's more than most people can think. And they just
I think I read it. I might have listened to it. No, I think I read it.
Your
Anyways,
opinion
I
is
was just
valid.
like, I don't get it,
Lots
guys.
of people don't like it.
Yeah.
Divisive, that one. I would say.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, all that's coming to my brain is what we recently spoke about in that video. Because I don't really finish books I don't like. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything from like way back
That
in
you were
the
like
day that I
forced to read in
hated,
school
but
or something.
nothing's really coming to mind for me. There's books I definitely didn't like. Like, I didn't enjoy 50 Shades of Grey, but I didn't outright hate it. And like, I don't think if you liked it that's a problem or anything. It's just that I just didn't really care for.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, it's great that nothing pops into your head.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, lucky me. Yeah. Do you ever get tired of curating an OwlCrate box?
Like, not like curating OwlCrate boxes, but like one specific box? That's the way I'm gonna read this question.
Okay.
I definitely like will have like a point, usually at least once a month, where I'm like, I'm done with this, I hate this box, nothing's working. But it's usually, you know, a day or an hour, and then something will click into place. So I think, yeah, there's always, I think with any creative process, there's points where you're just like, trash it all, but never like actually give up and leave it.
No. Yeah. I think I feel the exact same way. There's definitely like stressful points to every box that we put together. There's times where like things just don't feel like they're working, but usually it just takes like turning things off and kind of like doing something that is completely different from our day-to-day, I would say. Even like, I find like, even if I just like watch a movie instead of like spending my time on the computer, by the time that movie's over, I feel a little bit more chill.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like more creative and like the block is gone. So I think it's like with anything creative, especially like, you know, writers go through it too. Yeah, it's not always going to be smooth, but the important thing is to keep going.
Persevere.
And I also just think of our subscribers, and I'm like, I can't just quit. I would never do that to you guys. No. What did you guys do before you started OwlCrate, like past jobs, etc.?
Oh boy, how much time do you have?
My immediate past job is I was a legal assistant for the provincial government. So quite different. Very different environment, but yeah.
My immediate thing right before starting here was that I was in school for publishing, communications and publishing. But sort of during that 5-year process, however long I was in school for, I had lots of part-time jobs here and there. A lot of retail. We met working at a toy store. I've also done lots of admin stuff. I made a list of all the jobs I'd had once, and I think it broke 20.
Yeah,
so,
quite a lot,
Yeah, both of you have had a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit different in that I haven't had that many jobs. I've had like 6 jobs, I think, and I've stayed at each of them for at least a year, if not longer. But before starting OwlCrate, I was a manager at a children's toy store. And
as opposed to an adult toy store.
I have to make that distinction because I've had that question before.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And that's like the first job I got when I moved to Vancouver. But even before I moved to Vancouver, I was still a manager at a different toy store. So I've kind of just been around kids, especially, for quite a while.
I almost took a job at a magazine that I was working with right before I made the full-time leap here. So yeah, I was started as an intern and was writing for.
And you worked at one of the most famous children's bookstores in Canada, I would say.
That's right. Kids Books in Kitsilano.
Excellent.
Fantastic bookstore. Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite Harry Potter ship is the next question. I don't really have a ship. It's hard, like, I don't know. I read Harry Potter when I was young. I wasn't thinking about that kind of stuff. And like I kind of just
the Corey one.
No, I was thinking about, but not in the books I was reading, I guess. I don't know. But like I also just kind of trusted what J.K. Rowling was doing, like what she was putting together. Like since I've reread them as an adult, like what I think would be kind of interesting. I don't know. I like the idea of Neville and Luna but I also like the idea of Luna and Harry. I like Victor and Hermione, but I still like Hermione and Ron too. Like I don't know.
You're not like a passionate Hermione shipper.
No, that's one ship that I do not understand is Draco and Hermione. I can even understand Draco and Harry, but I cannot understand Draco and Hermione. I'm sorry.
You're like, I'm out.
Maybe I'm more passionate than I thought.
No opinions here. As we just established, I've just never, my brain has never gone to shipping, as I understand it's called.
You sound so old.
Down to use
Shipping.
I say it's a relationship. Oh boy, I am old. Yeah.
I think for me, because I, like, as I was reading the books, I wanted Harry and Hermione to hook up at some point, which obviously didn't happen. So, which is, like, again, I'm fine with it, but that's, like, what I wanted to happen in the books in the end. And then that's not what happened. Such is life.
Yeah, I never really saw Harry and Ginny. I will say that.
No.
I don't know who I saw really with Harry.
He's a lone wolf.
I like Luna. I liked their friendship really well.
Yeah, they had a good friendship, for sure.
I wish we'd gotten to know Ginny better.
Me too.
Yes, me too.
Like, yeah, more Ginny, please.
She's better in the books than in the movie, but...
Oh, for sure.
But you still don't really get that much of her.
No.
And for
'Cause
someone who's the main character's love interest, you'd think you'd get a bit more. I don't know. What is your favorite book that you've ever included in a box? That's also difficult. Because there's a lot.
Yeah. I have less to choose from.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
The two standouts in my mind, and like obviously I love every single book that we've included in all of the OwlCrate Junior, like fully stand behind them. But the two that like probably spoke to me the most was The Explorer by Catherine Rundell. I absolutely love that one. And Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. I'm so excited for part 2 of that one. And York, Laura Ruby.
Like,
see, I'm gonna just start listing all of them. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with those ones.
Yeah, so we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary of OwlCrate, so that's a lot of books.
There's a lot of books.
And like, there's ones that I've talked about a lot, so More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera and The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner are two that will always mean a lot to me. But then another one that I feel like is probably one of the most underhyped books that we've ever included is The Hearts We Sold by Emily Lloyd-Jones. That book I wasn't expecting anything from, and it completely surprised me, and I absolutely loved it. And I feel like even by us including it in our box, like still people haven't really embraced that book yet and read it.
It didn't get a lot of buzz outside of OwlCrate. It's unfortunate because it is really good, and we've had, during our Twitter chat recently, I asked what their favorite OwlCrate book was from the past year, because we had a 1-year anniversary on Twitter chat, and quite a few people said The Hearts We Sold, because it was surprising to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you haven't picked that one up yet, I highly recommend it.
It's dark, and it's twisted, and it's fun.
Yeah. And it gets you in the feels, you guys.
Yeah, it
Jeez.
That feeling when you like pick up an arc that you really have zero expectations for, and it just like blows you out of the water.
Exactly.
It's a special feeling. It's so cool.
It also makes you think, what are all these amazing books I'm never going to get my hands on?
Yeah, that's true. Which is picked first, the box theme or the book? The book.
Always the book.
Yep. What books make you laugh?
David Sedaris. There you go again. Like laugh out loud, like can't control myself on like the bus kind of. It's so funny.
Love it.
I think 2 memoirs that I read, when Hyperbole and a Half is a graphic memoir, and Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. Those ones are like laugh out loud funny. And our December book pick.
Yes, that's what
Foolish
I was
Hearts.
Yeah, Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills kills me.
So good.
Even the second read around still killed me. And then I think, I can't remember her name right now off the top of my head, but like she's like a comic artist, and her book is called like Big Mushy Happy Lump or something. Her comics and her books Like, they make me laugh
So
too.
good, yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
So relatable.
Yeah, Sarah Anderson, I think
Sarah,
her name
yeah.
is.
And Katie Beaton, all of
Oh,
her
yeah.
like
Oh, Katie
historical
Beaton, yeah.
comics and stuff. Yeah, Canadian. Oh, she's great.
So we got a question that says, what's the funniest, most interesting story behind the scenes of OwlCrate? And this isn't funny, and it definitely wasn't funny at the time, but it's interesting looking back. But I think on the final day of BookCon last year, I ended up in first aid for hours.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
No, all of a sudden Karina was just gone, and we're like,
Yeah. Yeah, so I only recently found this out after that I have a minor heart condition. Everything's fine. But I did not know that then, and my heart went mental at BookCon. I think it was just like a mixture of so many big things happened. Another funny thing that happened that day was we were asked to do a Facebook Live interview where we were interviewing Veronica Roth and Marissa Meyer.
Same day. Yeah.
Yeah, we were terrified. We had practiced together.
We had
and
a
then
plan.
We had a plan, even though we were scared.
and they had approved the plan.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we got there 10 minutes before we were supposed to go on, and they told us that only one of us could do it. So in a split second, we had to decide which
And like
of us
Karina
would
makes
do it.
sense to be the one to do it, because
Yeah.
that's the face that people know.
So I did that, and that was like almost an out-of-body
Successfully.
experience.
She was very good.
I was panicking, you guys, but it worked out. So I think I came like from that high, and then I remember I met someone at the booth who told me a very lovely story about like how much OwlCrate means to them, and we both cried together. So that happened, and then just like the chaos of
And just being exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
too.
this is the last day of a
Like,
it was
yeah,
just
trip.
exhausted.
just a bit too much. So that was just a very interesting day.
But you made it out alive.
Made it out alive. Take care of your health, people.
Yeah.
That's what that taught me. So, anyways, I don't know if that's the type of story you wanted, but
There you go.
that's what came to mind. Are there any tropes that make or break a story for you guys?
No, I wouldn't say make or break. Like, I feel like any trope can be done well. Like, you know, I don't like love triangles, but there are instances where they work.
Yeah.
And other tropes, like, I really don't like, you know, princess in crisis.
Yeah,
and
damsel
like,
in distress.
But
kind of.
again, The Kiss of Deception is awesome, and that is definitely what that
Yeah.
story is about.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
so I think in any situation I have tropes I don't like, but that doesn't necessarily prevent me from reading a story.
Yeah.
Because it can be done well.
Yeah. I think this one's definitely like being broken down a lot more, but especially, well, in middle grade, it's all I can speak to, but like that the boys are the ones that get to have the adventures. Yeah, there's been a lot of awesome main girl characters who are out there kicking butt and saving the day and having adventures. So yeah, the idea that the girl needs to take the back seat or not be there at all, not a fan.
Yeah, I think for me, there's no tropes that I hate so much that I would refuse to try a book. But the stuff I really just don't like seeing, and I wish there's less of it, is like girl on girl hate and like intense jealousy and stuff like that. And I also just don't like, I don't know, it's hard to say, because when I was a teenager I was very insecure, so I know that if I read these characters back then I probably would have related to them, but I just wish that there was less books where the main female character just like hates herself so much, or thinks she's so plain or so ugly, or how could he ever like me, or just, I don't know, just stuff like that. And like, if you are, I guess I wish that if you have a character like that, they're just three-dimensional, you know? Like, you can be
those
insecure,
are all very
but
relatable
also be,
feelings,
like-
but like,
yeah.
You know, I was a teenager, we were all insecure and shit,
Yeah.
but there was aspects of our lives where we were comfortable.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those things where, like, I just think there's a lot of books out there that are like that. If there was less of them, it might not be as big of a thing. But girl on girl hate, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've had enough. So we also got asked, what are each of your Hogwarts houses? Which I know we've mentioned before, but it never hurts to say it again.
Gryffindor!
Ravenclaw.
Slytherin.
No Hufflepuff.
No Hufflepuffs. Do you have a favorite bookish event?
I really like Yallfest. But again, that's the only one I've been to that I've been to as a fan and not working. And it's fun, it's really fun to do the shows, but it's an entirely different experience to just attend.
Yeah, you really don't get to experience
As a fan.
the
Yeah,
show.
yeah. You experience it in a very different and cool way, for sure,
Yeah.
but it's, I'm sure, in a way that a lot of people would love to experience it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I really, and I just have fallen in love with the city of Charleston, and,
It's so cool.
and yeah, I think YALLFest, the vibe there is so special.
Yeah.
I for sure want to go back to YALLFest. I'm very excited for YALL West.
Yeah.
Beautiful Con that we just went to in LA was awesome.
Yeah.
The first year of it, and I'm very much looking forward to next year.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my favorite to attend, just as a fan, is YALLFest. And then I think my favorite to exhibit at is YALL West. Mostly just because BookCon is cool, but it's a bit overwhelming, if I'm being honest. It's multiple days of being on your feet and being on.
high energy.
It doesn't end,
Which is great.
Cool. But when it's over, it's like,
Crash.
Yeah.
YALL West I like because it's outside, and where we live it's really rainy and cold most of the year. So to go to YALL West in sunny Los Angeles, it's always just like a really nice change. And yeah, same, like the vibe is just really positive.
Yeah. It's a cool setting too.
Yeah.
It's something different. It's outside at a high school.
Yeah. But I like all of the events that we
Yeah,
go
it's
to.
it's fun to go. It's fun to try new ones. Like we did Austin one year, a couple years ago, and that was really cool and different. And it's like you get to see a new city and do your job.
Yeah. And if there's any bookish events that we haven't been to yet that you guys really like, I would love to hear about them, because we're always kind of looking for new ones to
It's
try.
always in the back of our minds
Yeah.
or something. So
Yeah, so please let us know.
Especially kids ones. I would love to have some that are like
Yes.
middle grade centric, because it's awesome to attend the YA kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
a lot of the time it doesn't directly apply to
I
me.
feel like it is growing. At least at YALLFest, and maybe not at YALLFest, but there is a little bit more content for middle grade every year.
That's
I feel like.
totally true.
Yeah.
But
So keep it up, guys. A little bit more.
How far in advance do you decide on themes for the boxes?
I'm working on May right now, so that's 5 months. Oh my god, no, it's almost February.
By the time this video goes up, it's February.
Yeah, and I tend to work, it's become like 6 or 7 months in advance is like pretty standard for me. At least for like finishing the items. I might have books picked further in advance than that, but... do you remember your first book crush?
Might have been Harry Potter. Wouldn't surprise me if that was true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably say the same.
Yeah, I think it was Harry Potter.
Ron Weasley for me.
Oh, I see how it is.
Sorry. Like I said, I always tend to go for the best friend and not the lead character. It's the same in TV and movies, so I don't know. Have your reading taste changed over time?
Yeah.
Big time. I have said it many times before, and I think I need to stop saying it because it's just not true anymore, that I wasn't a fantasy person. I only really liked contemporary when I started this. And I had to force myself to read tons of fantasy, tons more sci-fi, mysteries, everything. So I feel like my tastes have broadened so much.
I feel like you like a lot of fantasy now.
I know, I feel like it's almost flipped, to be honest. Contemporary still, though. Like, I think contemporary is like the genre where I read like books in one sitting the most.
Right.
And whenever that happens, I just feel like changed in some way. Like, it's rare for that to happen. So, but yeah, my tastes have gotten so much broader.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot, I think, and I've said it before, there was a few years of my life where I pretty much solely read nonfiction, which is definitely not the case now. And now I feel like I really like my reading taste now, because my reading tastes are so broad.
Yeah.
Like, I read pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's I read graphic novels, and I read nonfiction, and I read fantasy, and I like cute contemporary, and I like it all.
Yeah.
And so, in like adult fiction, middle grade fiction, give me all the good. And I think that has happened again, as well, from working for something like OwlCrate where I feel encouraged to read all the time.
Yeah.
And like I can, just grab whatever my heart desires.
I think I also didn't really think that I was a huge fantasy person, and I still haven't really dug into like multi-volume, like high fantasy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I've definitely gravitated towards some fantasy stuff that I didn't expect to for the last couple of years, and also graphic novels is a big one for me. Yeah. There's so many like classics that I feel like I need to.
Yeah. Classics is a genre that I'm still like, I don't know.
Classic graphic novels.
Oh,
I mean.
my apologies.
Classic
Although
in the
also
genre.
there's classics.
Yeah.
Or classics that have been turned into graphic novels. That's a nice way to get into them.
That I could maybe do.
Makes them more approachable.
And then kind of a second part to that is what would make you consider reading a book outside of your comfort zone?
I mean, I think really scary. I don't like a
you
book
don't like horror.
if it's going to be really scary. But that said, I have been reading a lot of Stephen King, and like I've kind of branched into his creepier stuff, not necessarily like the horror stuff, but and I'm doing alright. So, but yeah, that's the only one that really I hesitate on.
Yeah, and maybe for me, like, other people's reviews help a lot.
Yeah.
Especially reviews if it's like someone who you have similar taste in books with. That might push me over the edge to like pick a book up and try it. But it's weird, like I don't feel like we have comfort zones anymore. Like
kind of
I can't really think of, I mean there's definitely genres I tend to gravitate towards less, but I still don't think I would like not be willing to try a book from a different genre. Yeah. I think sci-fi for me is still my biggest block. That's the new one to break.
Yeah.
Used to be fantasy. Got 2 more questions left. What does a normal work day look like for you? What do you do and what's your favorite part? It's going to be a little bit different for all 3 of us, I think. Although us will be kind of similar.
Yeah.
But
Well, basically, we all come into the office around 10 in the morning.
and the office is my house.
The office,
Yeah.
the office is the house.
Yeah.
And like we basically, we all have our computers, we all have our designated spots. We grab our coffee, we sit down, we log in, and we get going.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much all computer work,
Yes.
Yeah.
which makes sense.
I feel like what we're doing on the computer varies from day to day.
Yes.
And like that's one of my favorite things about this job is that when you log on, it's something completely different than you thought you were going to be working on, you might end up working on. So yeah, like I'm trying to think how to best answer this. Like I always check my email first because I want to make sure that anything urgent from like our packing team or a publisher or anything like that gets dealt with. But yeah, it's kind of hard to put into words because it is so different every day. Like I might be working on a specific item or needing to research upcoming books or I don't know, or like brainstorming with Corey about cool social media stuff to do.
Yeah, I feel like every time of the month is a bit different for all of us. We have renewal time happening, which is always crazy, and like sometimes I have to plan for Owl Bowl, and sometimes it's editing YouTube videos, and sometimes it's spending a day filming YouTube videos, and like...
Or like, one recent kind of thing that like I've been having to work on is the little magazine that we include in every box, so I have to write all the content for that and get all the bits and pieces together, so that usually takes about a week to completely put together. We'll also often take a stop at our post office box to see if there's like samples there or arcs there. Tuesdays we film YouTube videos.
Tuesdays we film videos.
Now we've started doing more like Facebook Live videos, so every might be a day where we do that. So it really changes.
Keeps us on our toes.
Yeah. One thing I will say is I very rarely feel bored at this job.
No.
There's always something to do.
There's definitely moments where like, okay, brain is shut off.
Yeah, that's a different feeling.
That's different than I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
It's what is happening.
Different things. Yeah. I will say I start my day by trying to like clean and like sort my inbox as much as possible and then we'll make a to-do list. But yeah, the to-do list is
different.
Very varied.
Okay, and then final question is what would you say is the best part of being part of the OwlCrate team?
Well, the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. We work tight and we work well together.
Yeah.
And like the only thing that we had in common, I think, besides our love of books when we started, was that I knew each of them. But you guys did not know each other very well, if at all. And yeah, so we've had a very lucky run together. Very little drama. Actually, probably no drama really.
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
been great. And it is like it's what makes the job what it is.
Yeah.
Like this, like if we didn't get along, it probably wouldn't be as fun.
No, it's never easy when you don't get along with your
Doesn't matter what
coworkers.
your job is. Could be the best job in the world, but if you hated the people around you, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah. And it's great because like we never fight when we travel together.
No, yeah,
which is rare.
Yeah, we've even stand the test of time traveling and working while traveling, and staying
and
in the
sharing
same
hotel
rooms.
rooms.
And, you know, we've kind of passed those tests, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like even though we were friendly, I feel like now we are really good friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I can't imagine not having
And you guys.
Yeah, and you guys.
And the community that we've built.
It feels
is
like a
fabulous.
huge team. Like there's us obviously, but
like we see so many people's names that we recognize month after month, and if you're brand new or you've been here since the beginning, it's always
Or like reps who are just like
reps or,
month after month churn out the most amazing photos for us, and yeah,
built something
community.
cool.
It's really,
feel
really
really
amazing.
blessed to have
Yeah.
the support behind us that we have.
Yeah.
Gonna cry. That's it. That's all, folks. So that concludes this Q&A. We hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Thank you so much for submitting all of your wonderful questions. And if you have any further questions for us, feel free to leave them down in the comments and we'll try to answer as many as we can.
If you haven't already watched part 1 of our Q&A, you can find the link below to it. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome.
Bye.